All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the very first community partnerships with Growing Healthy Children Therapy Services. I'm so excited that we are able to do this again this year. We had some great feedback and participation last year. So if you're listening to this recording, I just want to welcome you back. And my name's Tracy Davis. I'm an OT who facilitates the community education series at Growing Healthy Children. And I have with me today Angela Mahoney. She is a wonderful resource. She's going to be talking about the I Can Work program that she developed. And we're just going to roll through her presentation and her slides and just talk about how we can support life skills in our kids who have special needs. So I am just going to turn it over to her, and you can go ahead and go, Angela.
Thank you, Tracy. Yes, today I'm going to talk about I Can Work, which is a career readiness program that's really designed to integrate communication skills paired with those hands-on pre-vocational skills in a variety of areas, broken down through job readiness, clerical, retail, food service, and focusing also on the grocery industry. So a little bit about me. I have been in special education for over 17 years. I am currently in a life skills autism focused classroom. I just love it. I've always enjoyed helping others build these life skills, and over the years through publishing I Can Work, it's taken me on a journey of just helping more, So again, I'm still in the classroom full time, but I really enjoy these kind of moments where I get to share how to help others feel successful. So vocational soft skills, let's talk a little bit, what are vocational soft skills? Why should we be building them for others? How do we build those soft skills, and when to start? So vocational soft skills are a group of personality traits. Things such as social skills, communication skills, language skills, personal habits, leadership traits, emotional empathy, even down to some time management and teamwork. So what is the most in-demand soft skill? Would it be organization, communication, adaptability? Believe it or not, currently it is communication. 57.9% of employers are finding that is the most in-demand skill in need. So how do we build that communication skill? We work on things such as helping individuals prepare and ask for assistance, clarification on job skills. We help them practice build soft skills of interviewing for a job, greeting supervisors and coworkers. These are all areas under communication that if over time we help build as a foundation, individuals will really have a greater success in the area of employment. Other ways to help communication, role playing. Individuals, especially when starting younger or in the younger years, take that small group opportunity, role play, really help people practice over time in an environment that's comfortable, ways to enter a workspace, greet a coworker, say hello to a supervisor, as well as when frustrated, ask for help or ask for clarification. Other soft skills that you're working on through using I Can Work are skills of independence. You're helping prepare with personal habits, time management skills, appropriate work attire, what to wear to work and for different jobs, as well as a big one, self-advocacy, helping individuals learn who to share what related to their own disability and in what environment, as well as when in the workforce. Under the area of independence, making sure that confidence is there, but that all individuals understand expectations at work, that you really aren't there to be silly or have, fool around playtime. Yes, you want to enjoy work, but it's not your social time. There are routines such as clocking in and out, saying hello and goodbye, not just ignoring who you work with, and also making sure when being told directions or what you're expected to do at work that you're listening and attentive and what that looks like. It's important when you're helping individuals prepare for employment to really expose to a variety of possibilities. We don't want to limit choices or say that this is the track you're on vocationally if it's maybe not what the individual enjoys. I think many times we feel that we know the track and the plan for the student or the individual, but that really have we given them a chance to try things in a variety of ways. So exposed through hands-on lessons and varied activities, such as the 5 modules we're going to talk about in a little bit. And really make sure you're engaging your readers and your non-readers. Some that are able to access text, that's wonderful, but let's make sure those that aren't understanding the words are still really engaging in the lessons and finding the pictures that go with the materials that you're referencing. We'll speak more to that to come. Another nice piece with soft skill building, especially utilizing the I Can Work YouTube video channel, is video modeling. Really helping individuals see in videos different expectations and the ways people manage those materials. It really helps you keep the students engaged, show targeted desired behaviors. It helps the self-modeling. You can create the videos of the students themselves at work. It helps with imitation as well as that observational learning. Again, I find pairing a video as a little how-to prior to a lesson and then actually having individuals create the hands-on tasks afterwards has kept the students engaged as well as really feeling they knew what was expected for the task at hand. So why vocational soft skills? You know, we really want individuals and people to be navigating work. We want them to work well with others, have a positive, flexible attitude, be comfortable asking for assistance, and also have that social and emotional awareness. Those pieces will truly help all individuals feel successful. As you can see, social service jobs, those tasks have really increased. So in our workforce today, we're seeing less of a routine task and more tasks that are requiring soft skills such as communication, engagement, and empathy. So the time is now to really take that time to build that foundation. And there's so many ways, you know, how can we build these soft skills? The reality really is it's going to be different for everyone, but you really want to make sure you create opportunity through questions and discussions. So you can utilize things such as a KWL chart. What do we know? What do I want to know? And what did we learn? When you're presenting with anybody or speaking to an individual that's learning about a new job, it's nice to see where did they start? What did they know about the job before? Then you share, you do your videos, you practice, you role play, and at the end you ask, well, what did we learn? What do we know now? What's surprising to see is that what an individual may have thought was a task or a job they knew a lot about or really want to do, over learning, they found maybe it's not the right track for me, or they become more interested and want to take it even further. These KWLs are a great way also to track showing and exposing individuals to various jobs, and over time, seeing all that they've learned and what ones stick out. It's always about finding that spark. So what is the top industry where soft skills are most common? Would it be restaurants, health, wellness, and fitness, or retail? Currently, restaurants have the top industry for soft skills, the need there, as we would expect. It was a close, though, second with retail. Again, the importance of understanding why we're building these foundational skills, and one of the 5 modules being retail and another one being food service. These are nice starting points for jobs. I'm not saying that all individuals will only work in these 5 module areas, but what you'll see is it's nice opportunities to find where they can then go into as high schoolers or post-secondary or in college and try positions of work in areas of retail and restaurants and such, but have a foundation skill base that allows them to have confidence for that first job so that they are successful and desire to keep employment going. You know, it really is about making it meaningful. It's going to be more than just having a job or taking the time to do the hands-on task or skill. We really want exposure and practice to really lead to building confidence and independence for all individuals. In the area of vocational hard skills, you know, we're going to look now at what are vocational hard skills, why should we build them, how to build them, as well as when is a good time to start building those skills. Hard skills, are they teachable abilities that are a set of skills? They are easy to master quickly. Are they easy to quantify or to build over time? Hard skills are definitely teachable abilities that are easy to quantify, and that's what we're going to look at in this next part. What are some tasks and how can we really make sure we're showing exposure and some of the successful data that all are exposed to through the 5 modules? The first area of vocational planning is task boxes. These are compartments that contain materials for certain activities. They're short, they're structured, and they have a mix of familiarity with challenge. Typically, there are 4 types. There's assembly, sorting, put in, as well as coordination. And there are so many benefits to task boxes, especially how they encourage independence with the use of minimal or no guidance. They really help sequence and build those sequencing skills, as well as visual step-by-step presentation to continue the independence of the individual with the task box. Additionally, with task boxes, you then get into the career readiness module focus, where you begin to look at job readiness, hands-on activities related to clerical, retail, food service, and grocery. When looking at Module 1 job readiness, you really want to make sure you take the time to introduce and understand with the participants' vocabulary. It's super important in the area of confidence if the individual has heard the words before. So it's not surprising when you are told in a workplace, oh, go talk to your supervisor. Oh, go share that with your coworker. Oh, your coworker today will be. You know, those words and that language can be unknown, but if it's practiced in a safe environment that's comfortable for learning, the participants have a greater understanding when they go to that work setting. Tasks related to job readiness are things such as work-appropriate behaviors, helping participants apply for jobs, read want ads, search for jobs, also looking at dressing right for employment, and the areas of communication with supervisors and coworkers. These are all job readiness skills that are focused on in Module 1 and are part of that foundation building block. Additionally, there are supports in Module 1 related to using a time card. As we know, there are so many benefits to this one simple card. You're able to do first, last name recognition, track time completion, you can tally in dollars earned over a week, look at tax. If that's too challenging, having students practice reading a digital or an analog clock. There are so many skills tied into the time card. Additionally, when you're starting each module and you use a time card such as this one, you're able to really help the participant or individual realize, okay, now I'm in work mode. I've signed in, I'm going to act this way, this is serious, it's time to work. So those visuals really do help when introducing vocational skills and containing and continuing them through the high school years. Module 2 is focused on clerical and back to the vocabulary. As you'll see patterned, each module does have vocabulary to really, again, introduce and create familiarity around those materials that are going to be used and seen in those varied workplaces. So these are materials that are found in Module 2 and things that will be asked of the individuals. Things such as labels, stapler, using some envelope sealer, different pieces in that sense. And tasks in the area of clerical that you're going to initially focus on with that foundation are things such as folding business letters and stuffing them into envelopes, sealing them correctly, addressing them, stamping them. Additionally, collating, stapling, and filing. Visuals are included in all of the modules, and you can see here it's really meant to help participants compare their completed work. So after labeling envelopes at the end when looking with the individual at their work completed, you're enjoying the success of the ones done correct, but also taking the time to take them out and look and say, let's look at the visual. Is this the acceptable version or the unacceptable? And allow them to look when completing all of the tasks which one was incorrect and why. So it's becoming a learning moment, and it's also visual. So the individual, again, is able to take completed work and compare and also know what is expected of them for work completion. In the area of Module 3 focused on retail, the vocabulary comes up again, this time speaking to what they will be using in that module. Things such as shoe boxes, hangers, button-down shirts, and towels. Tasks related to the retail area are things like sizing and boxing shoes, hanging shirts and pants, sizing and pricing clothes, things that you'll see then in the community carried over. If an individual practices these skills in your classroom or your environment, then they can get a job in a retail place such as TJ Maxx and have that foundation for how to pair shoes, how to size them, how to place a shirt on a hanger correctly. Not only are those vocational skills, as we know, those are life skills as well. So it's a really nice tie-in. Again, those visuals will be strong. Each visual goes with each activity through all of the modules. As you can see here, retail shows visually how do you line up shoes for pairing them in a box. Maybe if never practiced, that might be an additional modification or support. You can also see there are size tags. So there's no reason to really reinvent the wheel, which is nice with this program. When you get to the modules, any cards, visuals, size tags, things like that, you can just print right out and you'll have them for individuals to then use and practice. So those are the size tags that go with the hangers and the shirts. And additionally, there are work area organizers. So it shows you also how to set up the materials left to right sequence and what materials you'll need for each activity. In the area of food service, vocabulary, again, related to the materials being used, things such as tablecloth, apron, menu, tasks related to folding napkins, prepping condiments, making change, assembling place settings, as well as clearing tables. All important skills to practice for the restaurant environment. Things, again, related to acceptable and unacceptable visuals, what's expected, what's not, as well as words related to the food service area that can be sorted, matched, as well as filed. Grocery is the fifth module. Grocery is related to looking at concepts around food as well as bagging and greeting customers. You'll see here the vocabulary is things such as what are hard grocery items, what are soft ones, what are cleaning supplies, as well as items that are cold. Those are all important vocabulary words and phrases to help individuals then, when practicing bagging, understand the difference of them. When in the grocery area, tasks to practice are things like stocking shelves, inventory of items, how to bag items, sorting them, as well as keeping cleaning and food items separated. Visuals are continued and really helpful, especially when looking at how to stock items. You can print out the visuals, and if you have a bunch of recyclables, food items you've already used, you can have individuals practice sorting those items by canned items, cleaning supplies. You can get into soft items. And if you have things like that, then you can use those visuals to support the stocking of them and also role-playing and practicing bagging items with varied items in the bag. So what are the 5 modules of the I Can Work program? We've got job readiness, clerical, retail, food service, and grocery. You can utilize in the I Can Work program all 5 modules in a school year 2 times and really have a nice, at the end of the year, result of successful data in varied areas. And you'll really see as we speak to next what trends you notice and what those trends may mean for future employment. So data collection is important, as we know. When we are introducing and also trying to show growth, we want to make sure there is a system in place for collecting that data. You want it not to be just busy work for the individual, but meaningful work that also shows their hard work. So you want it to show in each table, you have the module, so it would say food service or grocery, and within that table, each activity plan has its own column. And with that column, you're looking and tracking things such as number completed when compared to that acceptable, unacceptable visual. Did they need modifications? Did they follow left to right sequence? Were there any adaptations needed? And other things like that. Keeping in mind, you're really having a participant really actually do the vocational work. It's a recommended 15 to 30 minutes twice a week. So these are not very long work times. You don't want someone to have to fold 100 pages, total in one sitting, because that would not be worthwhile. You're really looking at more the successful completion of each activity with varied amounts of 10 to 30 items per activity. Additionally, a really large part of this program is reflection, and reflection for all individuals. So whether you are a verbal, high-functioning reader or you're a nonverbal individual who requires more of an augmentative communication system, when you are participating in these activities, you have a voice at the end of the task. So after completing each task, it's important to really pause with the participant and say, what did you think about your job today? Because giving them this time to say, I liked it, I didn't, I thought it was frustrating, it was a nice challenge, you know, whatever they're thinking, it really shows A, that they're pausing enough to understand that their work was important, but B, we're learning what the individual likes and maybe doesn't like. And over time, we'll start to see, wow, throughout this year when we've done clerical, you did not like the jobs in clerical. But when we reflected on retail, you really enjoyed all we did. Retail may be where we now focus our next vocational activities on, because that will hopefully create confidence, passion, and a spark so that the participant has energy and desire to keep going in that way and find successful employment. Again, really allowing individuals through tracking jobs, and we're, you know, all the jobs they do, whether it's in the classroom, off campus, something throughout the building, anytime vocationally there's something happening, give that individual the time to express what they thought of it. So they too can start to see a pattern of choice and preferred tasks for employment in the future. It also helps really build self-advocacy skills. When you allow someone to feel comfortable enough to say, that was hard, or that was frustrating, or I really liked it, because they're learning to express why. And I think there's so much power behind that. And it, again, builds that confidence that just gets carried over into so many environments. And again, focused on vocationally and work employment. In-house jobs is another nice opportunity to really allow for development of life and vocational skills. These are jobs that can begin in the middle school years, things such as recycling, mail delivery, cleaning services for the classrooms or the part of your building, as well as copy services, just to name a few. Off-campus opportunities are also another nice way to take skills learned through task boxes, through I Can Work, through in-house jobs, and now go into the community, really in those high school years, and try to apply and generalize those skills. Our next goal in that high school time is to really generalize skills learned in these areas in a variety of environments. So you're going off campus to places such as hotels, grocery stores, office settings, daycares, restaurants, hospitals, just to name a few. And don't forget home. It's always important, and we know when we tie in those home opportunities, the success is just greater. Have that expectation at home, right? Encourage families to carry over a chore chart, reinforcing setting the table, making the bed, sorting and washing laundry. Have a little work skill center. Reinforce with chores, tracking time, and then how much chore money they earned. Things like sorting the silverware, sorting and folding socks, and helping fold the towels. Lots of ways home can tie in vocational and life planning as well. So when to build these hard and soft skills that we just talked about? In the elementary years, introduce the task box system. Have students or individuals really focus on responsibility and chores, whether they're one a week, one a day, every other day, and really start to encourage that vocabulary development. You really want to point out what you see, talk about the jobs in the community, talk about what is going on, and label all that strong vocabulary that's so rich, and again, helps build that understanding and comfortability. In the middle school years, that's the time to introduce the jobs in the community really even stronger. Ask and question deeper. Explore what materials you see. What are they wearing? What uniforms? What are the work expectations? How do you think you get this job? Those are all real rich questions to ask that you can also pair with videos and video modeling, as we spoke to in the beginning. And also have in-house job opportunities. Really have individuals taking those skills learned in the classroom or in therapy sessions, and now they're applying them within a safe environment of their school, but in another way. And let's see, can they be generalized there to then take them to the next level in the community? during those high school years, that's when you're going to really focus on communication, work appropriate attire, increasing those time management skills and awareness, continuing the in-house job opportunities to keep the skill set strong, and then pairing it with weekly off-campus jobs as well. And then in the post-secondary years, continuing that community-based learning. Now we're really generalizing our skill because individuals are accessing the community frequently, daily. They're no longer in the high school setting. And what is successful and what do we need to take and maybe work on more back in another environment to apply to the community? Make sure the time management skills are strong post-secondary, continue to help individuals practice for interviews and applying for jobs, and as well as continue those off-campus opportunities. Whether they're through volunteer or they're 1 day a week, every little bit really does count and make a difference. Are there any questions? Otherwise, please be sure to follow. I definitely love to share any ideas I have for my classroom, updates, feedback I get from other people. You can check me out on Facebook at I Can Work 2013. And you also can follow me on LinkedIn, Angela Mahoney, MED. Thank you so much for all you do and for taking the time to listen on the many ways we can help all individuals be successful.
Angela, thank you so much. I actually do have a question for you. I was just thinking, this sounds like a fantastic educational program, but, as a therapist, I feel like it's also very relevant to me to work on, I'm an occupational therapist and we work on life skills. That's what we do. Functional independence. So do you have any tips for someone who's maybe working one-on-one with students, how you could adapt this curriculum? I know that you can use it in a lot of different ways, but have you seen anybody take this and kind of make it their own in that way? And can you share any tips for doing that?
Sure. Really, if you are seeing an individual, even in a one-on-one session, you can follow the modules where what I like to do is take the job readiness. So maybe you warm up with the vocab, but then you go right into the hands-on part of it, and you're able to really utilize those little hands-on activities to still be functional, but can be a part of the fine motor need too, I think, or if you're maybe having them made in kits. I know therapists that have taken, they have each of the activities as like a task box, so that if they're going into the middle school or the high school, they'll take that task box for that day because they know it has the visuals in it. They know what data they're collecting. It has their 20 papers to fold, right? It's already set up to be due, But really with 20 minutes, even again, once a week, believe it or not, if you were consistent, you would get to all the activities over the course of a school year and have a nice range of activities tried.
Right. And yeah, it definitely would target, I'm thinking about, as an OT, the fine motor, visual motor, eye-hand coordination. We're talking about midline crossing.
Yes.
All of those areas are targeted in this very functional way that teaches, real solid skills. So
you're right. You probably would have your own data collection that's even richer than the one I provided, to be honest, because of all those things you're looking for that are going to be presented through this task that I wouldn't even know to look for. That's what's cool. Already what you shared, I didn't even know, right? But it makes complete sense.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just thinking of all the ways that we can, and I had mentioned to you before, just, so many therapists just aren't sure what to do with some of the older students and stuff, but this is exactly what they need. Even if they're still in an academic program, these skills are applicable to everyone who's getting ready to leave the school setting and enter into more of a work setting.
Exactly. We were saying, this is something that anyone can benefit from, right? In the sense of, I wish I had a little more preparedness for my own first employment. I didn't know really time management. I didn't learn it in high school. It really is important skills for all, just to help give them that step ahead.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know, kids can all use that little step ahead as they enter into a new phase of their lives and need to be competitive in job markets and stuff. So
exactly. If you can nail an interview, right? That puts you ahead. If you're strong with eye contact, well, that takes role playing and comfortability, you know, and you don't prioritize it always, but it is something that, again, 10 minutes a week, if we practice some social situations, it sticks over time.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Angela. I think this is going to be very useful to a lot of different people, and I'm very happy that you were willing to share it with us today. So I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much. And again, if you guys have any questions for Angela, you know, she can, I'm sure she's happy to answer any questions that she that you might have for her. So.
Okay. Absolutely. Yes. Please reach out anytime, you know, problem solve, or you have a situation or even ideas to share with me or things, you know, that are helpful. I welcome it because it does take a whole village. So it's important.
That's absolutely true. All right. Great.